Saturday. Now, Professor Rajeev Gowda.
Thank you, Vice Chairman, sir. Sir, I want to actually start my speech on the budget by congratulating the government and the Finance Minister on funding suburban rail service for Bangalore City. This is something that the Karnataka government has been very proactive about. As an activist, I have been fighting for this for many years. Across party lines, we are in unity in terms of support for the suburban rail. It will go a long way in clearing the traffic challenges that Bangalore City faces. I also want to congratulate the government for adopting many of the innovative programs set up by the government of Karnataka under Sri Siddaramaiah. In this budget announcement, there were multiple such examples. For example, the Electronic National Agricultural Marketplace is a national application of our Rashtriya e-marketplace. The program to lend and rent out farmer equipment is the national equivalent of the Krishi Yantra Yojana of Karnataka's government. The solar pumps initiative is a replica of the Solar Raita program of the Karnataka government. And the program for pregnant and lactating women is a national application of the very successful and impactful Matrapurna scheme, which will go a long way in addressing health of women, children, and addressing issues of low birth weight and bring down infant mortality, maternal mortality, stunting, etc. So, after complimenting the government, let me now focus on points where I need to show where the budget and this government is falling short of our expectations of any good governance. First of all, there is an extraordinarily excessive reliance on cesses. And the real problem with this is a cess is supposed to be earmarked for a particular purpose. But already we have seen in recent times that the coal cess that was supposed to go to the National Clean Energy Fund instead is being used to compensate states for GST losses. What is the logic for that? And how can you say that this is a cess that was targeted for a particular reason when you are directing it somewhere else? The problem with cesses are, like indirect taxes, they are regressive and they hurt the poor more than they hurt the rich. So the total cess collection from this government is expected to be 3 lakh crores. Compare that with the capital expenditure for financial year 18-19, which is also 3 lakh crores. It appears as if this government is not going to raise revenues other than through such iniquitous methods such as cesses. Which brings me to the education cess. Here, there again is going to be uncertainty on how much is actually going to be raised, and instead you find that cesses are being allocated for all these fundings for programs which absolutely need targeted revenue allocated to them. So I am also outraged by one move of this finance minister where he has played a game, a sleight of hand, on the front of petrol and diesel excise duties. So, excise on petrol and diesel, when you collect it when the center collects it, it becomes part of the divisible pool and 42% goes to states. What has this government done? It has cut excise duty by 6 rupees per litre with an additional 2 rupees per litre cut on excise on diesel and petrol. And to balance this cut and to ensure that the centre's revenues do not come down, they have imposed an 8 rupee per litre road and infrastructure cess. As I mentioned, the cess monies will go only to the central government and the states are shafted. So, now, how much is this loss? I did a little quick calculation. If you look at the receipt budget, this is important stuff. This is for your state and mine and everyone else. Our money is being taken away. Let us pay attention, sir. Okay. So basically, if they are aiming to raise 1.13 lakh crore in this year from this item, well, that works out at 8 rupees per litre. It's about 14,125 crore litres. 42% of that 2 rupees per litre would be 84 paisa. Multiply that, states together lose 11,885 crores. For what? just so that the center can take away money that should have come to each of our states. This is outrageous, and I demand that the finance minister make a change in this provision before the budget is actually passed or the finance and appropriations bills are passed. So I just need, like Mr. Vijay Reddy, I have 2-3 last points to make. So give me that 2-3 minutes. So education is my pet subject. That is my old profession, sir. So this budget has seen the lowest allocation to education as a proportion of the total budget in the last 8 years. That is shameful. UPA had an average of 4.5% of the budget, and NDA is averaging only 3.6%. What are they trying to do to the people of India? They promised in their manifesto 6% of GDP on education. Instead, we see 3.4% of GDP allocated this year. And this also means that there's another cess there. They have pooled the education and health cess together, and there is no clarity on how much will go to health and how much will go to education. We don't know that. There are programs, 1 lakh crore allocated for revitalizing infrastructure and systems in education, and there, again, there is no roadmap on how it is going to be, expended.
Thank you.
So you know, no. You have 2 or 3 more urgent issues, sir.
No, you already mentioned 2 after telling that. You already said 2 or 3 points.
So if you're a little patient,
please.
If you're a little patient, we'll solve
this. We are patient,
this is most important.
Kindly conclude.
So you know that when a ship is sinking, the slogan is women and children first. When this government ship is sinking, they go after the programs and funding for women and children first. Okay, that is a shame. What have they done? For children, their allocations were 4.76% of the budget in 2012-13, and it has now come down to 3.23%. So they should. This. Yeah. Please keep listening. Sir, they should learn from the Karnataka government, which has a rock-solid Karnataka state child protection policy. So budgetary allocation for the National Commission for Protection of Child Rights has come down. It's 30% lower than the revised budget estimates. So for women, the economic survey had a pink cover. That is it. There is nothing in the budget to match the symbolism of the cover of the economic survey and the government's commitment to women. So what you've seen, maternity benefit scheme has come down by 300 crores. National Commission for Women has seen a decline.
Thank you, Rajeev.
And the Nirmaya fund schemes have come down.
Yeah.
Girls' education has seen 20% reduction. Kya sir, beti bachao, beti padhao, why 20% reduction for that? So then finally, disabled people. I know your own concern for people who are minorities of various kinds. Disabled also are. And here, you will see that the increases in budgetary support is inadequate. And this is the variety of failed promises in terms of escalators in railways, etc. So, I just want to end now.
Thank you.
Yeah, I will give them.
Please.
I will give them.
Please.
Okay.
Sir, what is this?
Please, Thakurji, please. You please. I will take it. Please sit down. Please sit down. You please sit down.
No, you are not.
Please.
So I want to conclude. May I conclude?
By this time you would have concluded. Please. By this time he would have concluded.
Sir, this is what they are mentioning. They are showing
Please.
the
You are wasting the time. By this time you would have. Please sit down. Don't waste time, please. Rajini ji, please sit down. Please sit down. Please.
So I want to point out one thing. In the other house, the Prime Minister quoted Basavanna, our great social reformer from Karnataka. So Basavanna has, one of his famous vachanas goes, Kadabeda, Kolabeda, Husiya Nudiyalu Beda. Husiya Nudiyalu Beda means do not utter falsehoods. Sir, this government, their promises during their election campaign, their actual practice during the budget, their statements outside, their statements inside, they are all falsehoods. They will come face to face with the truth in the coming elections.
Please.
Starting from Karnataka.
Please.
We will show them, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you, Rajeev Gowda ji.